everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Erin, and today we are going to move through some asana, some postures that will help connect us to our body and our breath, keeping it very simple. Today I'm going to encourage you to gather a few items so that your practice can be a little more comfortable for you. So the first thing that you might want to grab is a blanket. It doesn't have to be one of these yoga blankets. Whatever kind of blanket you have is perfect. You might just want to use it at some point underneath the knees because we're going to be doing some tabletop, some hands and knees position. So a little extra cushion could be nice. And then over here in the corner, I have set up a little altar. Now that word altar sometimes can hold some extra energy. It might have some connotations for you, but it's really simple. It's just a little bit of something to help elevate the senses, to help connect us to the senses, and to uplift the space for our practice. So if you want to take a few minutes to gather a few items, I recommend it. It's really lovely. Mine's really simple today. All we have here is a candle, and I have burned some sage. You can also use incense. Over here is a rose quartz, which is a stone that's associated with love and the heart chakra, and particularly this idea of unconditional love for ourselves, for others, and even for the world, just as it is. And then finally, I have some flowers here in a little vase with some water. Now, my neighbor told me these are weeds, but I think they're beautiful flowers. So whatever you have that you can gather to help stimulate the senses, it's great. Just take a minute to do that. And then when you're ready to begin your practice, find your way onto your mat in child's pose. So you might already want to use your blanket underneath of your knees. That's a fine way to do this. Some people also might want to have something between their hips and their heels. And it's totally up to you how close or far apart the knees are. So you can adjust once you get into your child's pose. So the hips are reaching back toward the heels, which they may or may not touch. Doesn't matter. And then we're going to take the hands out in front of us, bringing the forehead down to the ground. Now you go ahead and stay in that position, and you can make some adjustments for comfort and stability. So if reaching the arms in front of you isn't feeling great, you can let them come down along the sides. You can stack your hands and create a pillow for your head if that works for you. And then just go ahead and close the eyes if that feels safe for you. If closing the eyes doesn't quite feel right, just gaze at a single spot so that your eyes aren't moving all around. Invite your awareness to rest at the nostrils, and the sensation of breath as you inhale and exhale. And as we move through practice today, please, please listen to your body. You are your true teacher. So if there's something that I am offering or suggesting, and your body is saying no thank you, then please always listen to your body over my words. So now take a moment to, without any effort, just deepen the breath. Taking some deep, full breaths into the back body. In yogic philosophy, the back is associated with the universal and the unknown. So you can just really breathe into that unknowing. We're getting a lot of practice with that these days. So you can let that breath be with you and continue to make little adjustments. Maybe shrug the shoulders, open and close the mouth to stretch the jaw. You can roll your forehead from side to side if it's touching the earth. Consciously relax the muscles of the face, the shoulders, and the jaw. And then when you're ready, just settle into stillness in your child's pose. You can keep your attention at the nostrils or at the contact between the earth and the third eye. Perhaps take this moment to set an intention for this practice, an offering or a request. And as I often will say, just being here and being present is more than enough of an intention. So you don't have to search. Just stay here with yourself. And taking your time, if they're not there already, begin to extend your arms out in front of you. Spread the fingers out wide like starfish. Grip with your fingertips and press down through your palm knuckles, these metacarpal knuckles. Gripping, pressing down, and then as you inhale, rise up to tabletop, hands and knees position. So in this position, I'm going to invite you to engage your feet by tucking your toes here. The hands are underneath of the shoulders, the knees are underneath of the hips. And here we'll just move into our cat-cow position. So as you inhale, send your belly down toward the earth, lift the heart and chest and gaze. And then as you exhale, start at the tailbone to begin to round the spine, bringing the chin to the chest, letting that head hang. Inhale, start at the tailbone to arch the spine, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, start at the tailbone to round the spine, wide shoulder blades, chin to the chest. So go ahead and take that a few times at your own pace. Each inhale, an arching of the spine, and each exhale, a rounding of the spine. And every once in a while, send your awareness to your hands. That index finger knuckle likes to pop up off the ground. So keep that rooted, weight in the fingertips rather than the heels of the hands. And then on our next inhale, we're going to return to a neutral position here. And I'm going to turn to face you so you can see what I'm doing with my hands here. And back up. So just to give the wrists a little bit of love here, we're going to take this left hand and flip it. So the fingers point toward the legs, the palm is facing up, and we're just stretching the wrist out. If at any time you're feeling it in the wrist, you can pause and do this. And then we'll switch hands. Gripping with those left fingertips as you flip your right palm. Breath coming and going here. Good, and then when you're ready to return to your tabletop, gripping with all 10 fingertips, pressing the metacarpal knuckles into the earth. And here we're going to slide the right foot back behind us. Come up a little bit. The right foot is going to slide back behind us, and we're going to roll onto the side of that right foot and then firmly plant all four corners of that right foot on the earth. As we inhale, we'll sweep the right arm out and up for this variation of side plank. If it feels comfortable for you and you're feeling it, you can step that left foot back and come into your full side plank. Either way works. Take a breath here. And then as we exhale, the right bicep is going to come over the right ear, extending. You can lift your hips up a little bit more. Breathe into the side body. Either looking forward or turning your gaze up to the sky. Take a deep breath. And then as we exhale, we'll place that hand back down, both knees to the earth, back into tabletop. Take a deep inhale, arching the spine. Exhale, round the spine, untuck the toes, and shift your hips back to child's pose. Staying in child's pose and breathing. And then inhale, let's try it on the other side, rising up to tabletop here, tucking the toes, engaging the feet. And this time we're going to slide that left foot back. And I'm going to turn around so you can see. So sliding that left foot back, turning the foot onto its side first, and then consciously pasting all 4 corners of that foot on the earth. So my foot is really firmly rooted here. The right hand, if you had some tension in your wrist on the other side, take your right hand slightly forward here, just an inch or 2. Those right toes remain tucked, and as we inhale, we sweep this left arm out and up over the head. For our side plank variation, or if you're really feeling it, you can step that right foot back for your side plank. You're also welcome to lift the hips, and on an exhale, reach that left bicep over the left ear, breathing here. Inhale, bring the arm up to the sky, and then exhale, turn back to the earth. Back into your tabletop. Take a deep inhale as you arch the spine. And then exhale, rounding the spine, untucking the toes, and shifting your hips back to your heels. Just rest for a moment in child's pose, breath coming and going. If it feels good even in child's pose here, you can do something to give some love to the wrists, maybe making some circles with the wrists or squeezing each wrist can feel really nice. Shaking the hands out, flicking the fingers, all really lovely things. And then when you're ready, join me again in tabletop, hands and knees. So here, we're going to move into something that's called child's vinyasa. So our hands, which will start underneath of the shoulders, are going to walk forward, one hand print. And then this is a really important part. Right now, hips are over the knees. We want to shift the hips forward so that they are not dropping, but they're just a little bit forward. Take a deep inhale here, hug your arms into your body, and as you exhale, lower to the earth. When you get here, untuck your toes, tops of the feet on the earth, slide the hands back a little bit, draw the shoulder blades together, press into the hands to inhale and rise up for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Hips stay on the earth. And then exhale, returning to child's pose. So let's try that together as a flow. Inhale, coming forward, tucking the toes, hips forward. This is like a modified plank posture. And then exhale, bend your elbows to lower to the earth. Untuck the toes, hands slide back. Inhale, rise up, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Exhale, hips to heels for child's pose. Let's take it again. Inhale, rising up to your modified plank. Exhale, lower down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Exhale, hips to heels, child's pose. Good, so we're going to modify it this time. Just follow me. Inhale, rising up to modified plank, tucking the toes. Exhale, bend the elbows to lower to the earth. Untuck the toes. Inhale, rise up for your Cobra. This is where it's going to change. As we exhale, we're going to lean forward and bend the knees. And sometimes this gives a tremendous stretch to the quads, so be gentle, listen to your body and modify. Press into your hands and inhale, rise up. You can lift your hips here. And then exhale, either put your legs back down, if that feels best, or simply roll over the knees, returning to child's pose. So we'll try that together. Inhale, rise up to your modified plank. Exhale, bending the elbows to lower. Feet are on the ground for this. Untuck the toes. Press the tops of the feet in the earth as you inhale, rise up to cobra. Exhale, lean forward, bend both knees. Inhale, press into the hands, lift the hips, rise up. And then exhale, return to child's. Staying here in your child's pose, just breathing. And again, if you need to attend to the wrists, making circles, flicking the fingers, opening and closing, squeezing each wrist, all of these things can be done from child's pose. And then again, when you're ready, please join me in tabletop, rising up on an inhale. And exhale through the mouth. You can shake your head out. So we're going to come back to our cat-cow pose, but we're going to add to it. So just follow me. As we inhale, we're going to arch the spine, weight in the knees so we can lift the hands. And you can stay here, or you can lean back, opening the heart. Exhale back into your tabletop. Step back to plank, and then shift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. All of that happens on an exhale. So let's try it again. Inhale, tabletop, arching the spine, lifting the hands all on one inhale. Exhale, hands and knees, step back to plank, and shift your hips back, downward facing dog. One more time like that. Inhale, hands and knees, arching the spine, lifting the hands, maybe a back bend. Exhale to tabletop, stepping back to plank, and landing in your downward facing dog. And here you can stay, maybe pedaling your feet out, shaking your head yes and no. So like in tabletop and in child's pose, you want to make sure that you are gripping with your fingertips, pressing down through the palm knuckles. This is called Hasta Bandha, hand lock. So just taking a few breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, we're going to add a little bend to the knees and start to walk the hands back. So you're ending near the back of your space in Uttanasana, standing forward fold. You can plant your hands on the earth here, just breathe. And then inhale, slide your hands up the front of the shins, come halfway up. So a lot of times here we send our hips back. So we want to make sure our hips are forward. Hips are lined up with the heels here. You can have a bend in the knees. On our next inhale, we'll bring the hands to the hips. Draw the shoulder blades together, elbows to the sky. And then inhale, hinge at the hips to rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, take the arms down at the sides, turning the thumbs back. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up over the head. And exhale, bring the palms together in front of the heart. Just pause. Just breathe and feel. So here, you're still at the back of your mat. I just turned because I never know which direction to face in these videos. So we're going to come into a balancing posture here. For this, we might actually want to move our blanket off to the side because we're going to be taking a step forward. So the palms are going to come together in front of the heart, and we're going to gaze at a single spot near the front of the mat. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, shift your weight into your left foot and leg. Inhale, lift your right heel. And so there's several ways to do this. You can simply step your right foot forward without ever really lifting it off the ground. That's a way to do this. Or you can join me as we lift not just the heel but the toes and then flex that right foot. Balancing here on one foot, take a deep breath. We can add a little bend to that standing left knee. And on an exhale, we're going to lift that left heel and take a giant step into our lunge position. So I like to adjust, scooting this front leg forward a little bit, knee over heel. This would be the right foot. Left heel is lifted up high. And then we'll take the hands down at the sides here. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. And exhale, reach the arms back and down. Try that again. Inhale, arms come forward and up. And exhale, the arms come back, down, and to the earth, framing that right foot with your hands. Inhale, step back to plank. And then exhale, shift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Take a breath here, or 3, pedaling the feet out if you'd like. And then adding that little bend to the knees, we're going to walk the hands back into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Head is heavy. Inhale, slide the hands up the front of the shins. Exhale, hands on the hips, draw the shoulder blades together, little bend in the knees. Inhale, hinge at the hips to rise to stand. Exhale, the hands come down. Inhale, take the arms out and up over the head. And exhale, bring the palms together in front of the heart. Pause and breathe. Now again, you're going to gaze at a single unmoving spot near the top of your space. On an exhale, shift your weight into your right foot and leg. And inhale, lift your left heel. So again, remember that you can step that left foot forward if that feels better for you. Or you can inhale and lift your left toes, flex your left foot, and rest here, balancing on that right leg. If you fall, you just get back up, no big deal. And then when you're ready, little bend in your right knee. Inhale, lift your right heel, and exhale, take a step to land into your lunge and adjust. Scoot that left foot forward so you can bend deeply, stacking your left knee on top of your left heel. And then lift your right heel up really high. Arms can come down. And this time, we're going to inhale, take the arms back and up. And exhale, bring the arms forward and down. Once more, inhale, take the arms back and up. Exhale, arms come forward and down to the earth, framing that left foot. We'll step the left foot back into plank. Take a deep inhale. If at any time you need to place your knees on the earth, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, simply roll forward on your toes and exhale, bend your elbows to lower to the earth. Untuck your toes, maybe glide the hands back. Inhale, rise up, Bhujangasana. And exhale, we're going to return to where we began, in child's pose. Hips to heels. Forehead down toward the earth, if that's available to you. And once again, adjust. Maybe the knees come closer together. Maybe they come farther away. You can bring your arms down along your sides. And then again, bring your attention to the breath, to the nostrils, or to the back body, wherever you're feeling the breath the most. And then from here, I'm going to invite you to bring your fingertips underneath of your shoulders. So you're still in your child's pose, but you're going to lift your head a bit so your head is in line with the spine. You can look up here at the video if you need to. And then from here, we're going to keep a tall spine, pressing the fingertips into the earth, and inhale, hinging at the hips to come to seated. So sitting with your hips on your heels might not be available to you. So take a moment to adjust. You can either remain like this, or maybe you grab a cushion. If you'd like to come to a cushion, you can sit with your hips on your heels like this, or maybe you just want to come to a cross-legged position. So whatever is working for your body is perfect. And once again, I invite you to close the eyes. Notice how the body is feeling after moving and breathing. Let the pelvis and the legs remain heavy. Let the shoulders relax down, away from the ears. Jaw is relaxed. Spine is light and buoyant. Maybe a small smile on the face. Let your attention return to the sensations of the nostrils. And there's nothing that you need to do to the breath here. Just feel it coming and going through the nose. So you're welcome to stay in this seated position, or you can make your way onto your back into Shavasana. In Shavasana, the arms are reaching down along the sides, far enough away from the body that the palms turn upward. This also helps to encourage external rotation of the shoulders. The legs will reach down the mat and the feet will separate about 2 feet apart. You're welcome to put something under the knees, under the head, a blanket over the body, something to keep you comfortable, stable. And if you want to rest in a seated position, palms up is a receiving gesture, palms down is a grounding gesture. And wherever you are, lying down or sitting up, I invite you to close the eyes. And let go of everything you've just done. You don't need to review or judge. You don't need to wonder about what's coming next. Give yourself permission to totally be here with yourself as you are in this moment. Focusing on the breath that comes and goes through the nostrils. And eventually, even letting go of that focal point. And letting yourself simply rest in awareness. Gather up your awareness, and again bring it home to the breath. First, simply feeling and observing the breath. And then you can invite a deeper, fuller inhalation. And a longer, slower exhalation. Feeling the influence of breath on the physical body. Allowing the movement of the breath to inspire movement in the physical body. So wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling your head from side to side, moving your shoulders and your hips, and your knees. Reaching the arms above you or behind you for a full body stretch. Wiggling through the torso to stretch the sides. And if you're on your back, go ahead and roll onto one side in a fetal position, whichever side feels best for you. Pausing. We'll all pause here. Silently thank yourself for coming to the yoga mat and making it to a practice. And if you're on your side, please make your way up to a tall seat, taking the time to sit on that blanket or on a bolster. Heavy pelvis, tall spine, open heart, smile on the face. We'll float the palms together in front of the heart, bowing chin to chest and remembering any intention that you might have set for practice today. I invite you to join me as we close today with 3 Oms. This sound represents our connection to one another and to all things. And the most important thing to do is to chant with all your heart. So we'll start with breath. Please take a deep, full inhale. Tall spine as you exhale through the mouth. Inhale for Om. With presence and with gratitude, we lift thumbs to the forehead for our clear thinking, thumbs to the lips for our mindful words, and thumbs to the heart for our compassionate intentions and actions. In deep gratitude to all of my teachers, to the traditions of yoga asana, pranayama, mudra, mantra, meditation. In deep gratitude to each of you, thank you so much for practicing. Satnam, Namaste. See you soon.